Currently, the leadership stroke coaching terrain in the world is fundamentally changing. And it's going from 30 years ago, for example, where the CEO of a company, the coach of a sports team, got to that position because they were the content expert. They knew more than anybody else about what to do. So their leadership style was, as I who know, let me tell you what to do. And 30 years ago, people were very happy to follow somebody who knew more than themselves. But that has fundamentally changed in the last 30 years. From that leader as content expert, using an instruction-based command and control, my way or the highway, I'm the content expert, to now in the knowledge era, that content expertise that used to sit with one person now sits on the World Wide Web. It's on the internet. In fact, Siri is cleverer than any boss or any CEO out there at the moment. So that shift in the leadership terrain, let's look at what is happening, how are we navigating that shift. Research from 3 different HR companies, Forbes, Gallup and Saratoga, that research covered over 1 million people from over 200 different corporations and over 60 different countries. And what it came out with, that today 74 to 84% of people would rather leave their jobs than stay in their current employment. When asked why that number of people want to leave, the main reason is because of my boss. People leave bosses, not companies. And the question then begs, if we were to do that same research in sport, consider then that it might be that between 3 out of 4, 4 out of 5 athletes would rather play for another team. And the reason being that they don't like the way their boss is leading them. So what is the shift that approximately 80% of businesses we now know has not successfully navigated that shift? And preliminary research suggests sports teams, more than 80% of team sports coaches have not made that shift into knowledge era coaching. So what does that look like? It's moving from leaders, content expert, to the content expertise lies within the group. It's moving from an instruction-based leadership to a more collaborative way of finding answers. It's going from coach-centered to more player-centered. It's from coach having all the answers to eliciting the answers from within the team, or if the answers aren't within the team, having a team to go out and go and find the answers for themselves. Players are saying, my research in 2003, which included 25 of the most capped cricketers in South Africa over a 13-year period, and they gave their feedback on 36 professional coaches at provincial and 5 international coaches over that same 13-year period in South Africa. And what that research said was what players were wanting was statistically significantly the same as what the best leaders in the world were doing to bring the best out in their people. And none of these players would have written and read what the leaders were saying. What the coaches, all 36 coaches, were providing players was statistically significantly different to what players wanted. They weren't happy with the way the coaches were coaching them. Again, further proof that we haven't navigated the shift in the team sports coaching space. Essentially, so what is the message here? It's for coaches, leaders to understand what is the shift that is currently happening in the leadership, coaching, parenting, teaching terrain. From the command and control instruction based to a more empowering, collaborative, player-centered approach that needs to be applied slightly differently at different levels, lesser at the younger and less experienced ages, and as people get older, we need to increase the amount of ownership, empowerment that we're giving the players, the employees that are underneath us. And so what do we need to be doing as leaders? One, understand that you can stay the way that you are currently leading and coaching. That will become more and more redundant as we move forward. And really, there's an awesome opportunity that exists. Research tells us happy people are 30% more productive than unhappy people. So there's an awesome opportunity, and all we need to be doing as coaches, as leaders, as managers in business, is we need to be doing a 10 to 20% better job than other people in shifting from the old school command and control to a more empowering, people-centered, caring for people, actually leading for the sake of nurturing, caring and growing other people, as opposed to leading for my own personal benefit. And you players or you employees are there to be used as resources to make me look good and to serve my needs or the company needs. It actually needs to be more about people.